Hi, everybody. Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Mystique is back. I hope you've all been well. I hope I hope a lot of you have been far better than what I have. So um, I'm sorry for my disappearance. Uh, I was I was off having a little cancer journey of my own. And as you can see, my hair's a bit crazy, and that's because I've got um, look, I didn't shave it, and I didn't lose. Um, I didn't lose a lot at the front and the sides. I lost a lot at the back. It was really weird. Um, it was really weird how it decided to fall out. And look, it is what it is, and I still haven't got the complete news as yet. But I've had 6 rounds of chemo. I've had 2 operations on my arm where I had um, an active cancer melanoma tumor thing removed, which was quite painful. But yeah, started out like a dot, and yeah, look, doctors are funny. A doctor that's known me for years told me it was nothing to worry about, and I, of course, intuition certainly kicked in. I can see a few of you jumping on now. Good evening, Travers. Excuse me, Margarita. Hello, Andrew. Welcome, Michelle. Michelle Vella's watching. I haven't seen you on my live for a long time. Tanya, Lynn, um, Paul. I haven't seen you for a long time either. Michelle, thank you so much for your um, comment. That's a really lovely comment to say. So thank you so much for that. Like it's been a bit of a ride. Uh, Certainly been a bit of a ride, and that's hence why I haven't been on for a long time. And I used to do this every Tuesday night, so a bit of housekeeping. I'll go back to a bit of housekeeping before I sort of start my story, so to speak. Like and share the page. There is no if you want a guaranteed reading tonight, along the bottom of the screen, of course, is my PayPal account. If you donate $15 into my PayPal account, you will get a guaranteed reading. I already have 2 people who have popped that in, so I'll get to those shortly. One of them, Margarita, you're here already. The other one who's paid is not at this point. And like that's that part. So like and share. No free readings as such, but thanks, Michelle. I'm a tough cookie. Sometimes I wonder. So we're here to have a bit of fun. We're here to kind of get back into it. After I've done paid readings tonight, if there's I don't want to go the 3 hours that I'm so used to doing here. Probably an hour and a half would probably do us tonight. But we'll just see how things flow. I'm certainly not going to cut anyone off if they, donated for a reading, so that's fine. Oh, hi, Lenny. Yes, it has been a long time. Hope you're well. Sorry, I keep getting interrupted by saying hello to people. Like and share the live feed. It's live and interactive, so you can comment anytime you like. No, thank you, Lenny, for sharing. No, guaranteed reading. Donate $15 into my PayPal account. No free readings as such, but of course with spirit and people who know, my mediumship well, and even if you don't know it well, spirit sometimes jumps in and it has something to say, and it's directed. Like I don't know who it's for, and I can go off on a tangent, and it will belong to someone, and then sometimes I will go, do you know what? I will choose. Someone who I believe that belongs to. And sorry, I've just got somebody else that's paid. Oh, I can't see who that is. Okay. Andrew. God love you, my darling. It's been a very long time, Andrew. I God, it would probably Andrew, I don't think I've done a reading for you for be close to probably a year now, which is good. I'm sure you're on other live feeds from other psychics and getting some info there. Tanya, yes, fellow, thank you for the love heart, fellow Cancer sister. Glad you're out of all yours, and that you're going well. That's been it's been a journey. It was a big journey for you. So I'm glad you're kind of done and dusted. Although we all know you have to keep up with the follow up. So anyone who kind of wasn't here in the beginning, in the first few minutes, 6 months, or actually it's probably 8 months now, cancer journey for me. I had a active melanoma tumor on the top of my arm. Um, and when they removed it, it was over 7 centimeters by 6 centimeters, so it was a pretty big one. And I think it was about 4 centimeters deep from memory. So I had a large chunk cut out at the top of my arm, just before kind of where your shoulder is, and it was very active and very, I won't say aggressive because we kind of got it quite early, but yeah, 6 rounds of chemo. I'm yet to find out if all that's worked. Although I feel a lot better. I'm not vain as such, but because I lost my hair in different patches and I didn't want to shave it and I had my own reasons for not shaving it. It's got nothing to do with vanity. It's got something to do with when I was married and was set on fire with domestic violence. So I have a lot of scarring on my scalp. So I actually couldn't shave my head as such. So we waited to see what it was going to do. And in doing that, it kind of came out in patches. So this beautiful lady in oncology at the hospital, she's about 80, and she was a hairdresser in her day, and she actually goes around to cancer patients and she offers them at no cost. She's beautiful, and you sit down and have a cup of tea with her while the chemo's going through and all that sort of stuff. And she really is. Hi Michelle, thank you for joining in from Melbourne. Thank you for popping in. She buys wigs and hair pieces that have real hair, and she'll sit there for a couple of hours and have a chat to you, and she cuts off pieces from these wigs and she weaves it into your own hair. And I have really fine hair, and hence when it's humid it just goes crazy, and it's I've always got a head of crazy hair. Everyone that knows me knows that, and everyone's used to it, and I don't really care about comments anymore on that. But she's so beautiful, and it's not stitched into your head, it's not extensions, but she just weaves these bits of hair throughout your own hair. And she's just an extraordinary woman, and she doesn't want any money for it, and she just it helps her day, it fills in her day, and she's just an extraordinary woman. So hats off to her. She does it for every cancer patient that goes through that hospital. And yeah, so it's really it, it's it's just a journey, and that word is sometimes very much overused. But I have to tell you, when you've got cancer, and I know Tanya's on here tonight and she's had cancer. I don't know if anyone is on board so far watching that has had cancer, and there's many different forms of cancer. However, staying positive throughout it is the best medicine. And I was positive right from the start, because the spot on my arm I knew had changed virtually instantly. And it's to be believed when I knew it was looking ugly was hard to swallow, and hence I walked out of that surgery and went straight into another one, and they virtually said, you need to come back, we need to slice that off, we need to test that because that looks really bad. So it goes from one extreme to another. Anyway, enough of me, because I've been sick throughout it, haven't lost any weight. Like, who does that? Nobody wants cancer to lose any weight, but didn't lose any weight through it with all the throwing up and carrying on. However, I understand that chemo has steroids in it as well, so you're not really going to lose weight unless you're kind of at the, how I want to say it, at the other scale, where you might be, stage 3 or 4 and have something that's wiping out, like, organs and stuff like that. So that's really harsh. And thank God I wasn't in that harsh zone. And thank God I, picked it up early. So that's just a little rundown of why you haven't seen me. And I'm sorry that kind of, went on a bit too long. But anyway, I just want to Alicia Goldsworthy, hello, welcome. She says, I work with hair pieces and extensions too. Had some amazing customers over the years. The weaving techniques is my favorite. Look, it's really bizarre because, like, my hair is just so fine, and I already started off with fine baby hair. Nobody knows it when it's this crazy, but that's because I've got a buckload of product in it, because it's just dead flat baby fine. But the weaving that they do is like it's extraordinary. It doesn't hurt. And she just had to put some in patches here, there, and everywhere. And anyway, it is what it is. But yeah, feeling a lot better. Waiting is probably about another 2 weeks off before I get the phone call that says there's a few scenarios. I'll either get a phone call that says you don't have to have any chemo for 3 months, but it's not quite gone, so we need to do more. Or I'll get a call that says, hey, guess what? You're cancer free, which I'll be very ecstatic for that. Or I'll get a call that says, really sorry it hasn't worked. We need to keep up the chemo. So, as I said, I'm feeling positive and I feel okay. So yeah, it's all good that way. So I'm just going to come back and say, hi Karen, please don't be sorry. It's all good. Look at you. I thought you may have been unwell. It's all good. If I was going to say anything negative, and I don't like negativity, I deal with in my life. I deal with a lot of narcissistic people, and my family. Even though I don't have much of my family left, but my family are extremely narcissistic, and one of them, my mother, lives right around the corner, and I mean literally, it takes 5 minutes to walk there. And no, not a care in the world. No offering to do anything when I was in Bev's days. No offering to take me to chemo, nothing. So I've pretty much done this journey on my own. And I do thank all the people that, were able to, excuse me, message me, ring me, check, all that sort of stuff. I'm not saying that because I want everybody to now jump on and say anything. It's a fact of I work a lot on my own anyway, and I'm used to being on my own. So I don't, and I said in the beginning I was probably going to do this journey on my own because I didn't want sympathy, I didn't want pity, and I don't want it now either because it's at the other end of the scale. So, right, so that's where I'm at with that. Jacinta, hello. It's good to be back. Jacqueline, hello. Thank you. I've just missed so many. This thread just goes so quickly. Andrew. Okay. A lot's happened in a year. Yes, it has. Lenny, I may get to you towards the end. I'm not sure. As I said, like no free readings as such. If you want a guaranteed reading, donate the $15 in my PayPal account. The information is scrolling along on the bottom of the screen. Julie, good evening. Hello. Paul, darling, I've been strong the whole way through, and yeah, I'm looking forward to. Oh, you've got cows. You got cows out. Oh, you need to come and get the cows back in, and they need to be safe and tucked in for their, night. Anyway. Alicia, look, thank you. It's all good. Tracy, hello. Hello, Tracy. I don't think I've seen you in my life for a while either. Julie, you are never negative in the 40 years I have known you. Do you know, everybody years ago, God love Julie. I've known her for about 50 years, actually, not probably about 45. Everybody used to think, I drank and I was loud and crazy because I drank scotch, but I haven't touched a bit of alcohol since I was 21. And my personality hasn't changed. That was always in my personality, regardless of alcohol or not. So, still loud. I'm certainly not obnoxious, but still loud. My personality is high. My energy always seems to be high, but I put all that down to all the spiritual work I do, all the psychic work I do. My energy has to be virtually high to be able to receive. I saw something on Channel 9. Let's not go to, hey, Dave. Hi, Nita. How are you? Thank you. I don't want to give maths a plug. However, they have a psychic medium there, and the way she says about, pointing the finger and talking about, she's receiving a download, and it's poor acting, and I believe she's not. I believe she's not a psychic medium anyway. But that's TV for you. Sharon, I like that. Wonderful to hear that laugh. Oh my God. Yeah, trying. Sonia, I don't have a pay ID. I PayPal or Alicia's the same. I can. Are you both, Sonia and Alicia? Are you both friends of mine on Facebook? I think Sonia is. Because I can send you bank details if you wish. That's just going to stop me talking for a minute. Like, how good's that? Everyone goes, oh my God, she's going to come up for air. Oh, okay. So I have Sarah. And I have Tony. Oh, Tony's on. I didn't see Tony's name. Okay. So, Sonia, I know, I'm pretty, we are friends on. So let me see if I can quickly grab my bank details. Sorry, everybody. Sonia, I've just sent that to you. Tony, thank you. I'm glad you're a survivor too, and I haven't got the all clear yet. It's just me being positive because I feel, certainly feel a lot better than I have for the last 8 months. Alicia, you'll probably have to, if you're going to friend me, it'll have to be under my Robin Hinson name, ROBYNHINSON, because you can't friend a business page, or my Mystique pages are all business pages. So that will have to go through there if you want to do that. And I totally understand. It's like you're tapping into a higher energy source, and you can be tried. Yeah, look, it is. It's, and this is one that, like, I don't want this to just be a teaching lesson, because I mean, I can set up teaching sessions and whatever and seminars all the time, and I'll go back to that. So that's something that you can all look out for as well. But when you're a true, I come across a lot of fakes in my day, and I distance myself, and I out them and all sorts of things, because you cannot do this, what I call, you cannot do this type, I want to call it a service from spirit world, if you're fake, because there's so much that you can say that is so cliche, and you're not really giving the person specifics as such, and that's sad. And sometimes I get accused of thank you, Lenny. Sometimes I get accused of, that people are intimidated by me and all the rest of it. I used to take offense to that. I kind of go, because I'm not intimidating. But that's, if somebody feels like that, that onus is on them, because obviously something is not quite right in their life where they have to project their negativity onto me. And I don't stand for a lot of that crap. It's just a case of, do you know what? All these people that say, I love you, I like you, I like your energy, I love you, your personality, but then talk about me behind my back. Look, I'm too old for that rubbish, and I don't care. I used to care, but I kind of don't anymore, because it is people's insecurities, and it's sad to say that some people in our industry are like that. Excuse me, are like that. However, in saying that, when you're real and you're excited to work alongside other psychics, the energy is fantastic, and the energy radiates even higher. But when you're next to someone who portrays they can do something and they can't, and all that sort of stuff, the energy level drops, and I have to distance myself away from that. So I do a lot of work on my own. I certainly do festivals and stuff, but obviously the last 8 months I haven't done, and I just need to wait till I get total clearance before I'll go back to that, because I don't want to, be struggling with cancer still, and going back and doing all that. So I am going to be around, and anyone can always book in with a private reading for me anyway, and we can do video calls, chats, all that sort of stuff. So that's all good. Just let me know about that. Anyway, I'm going to start off with Sarah. Are you here? I haven't seen your name pop up, Sarah. Are you here? Because if Sarah's here, she was the first one who, okay. Alicia, I've just confirmed you. Now I'm just going to find you in. That'll be right. The minute I want to do a live, something goes down my throat. Why can't I find you now? Also, I'm just going to ask a vague question here. I mean, I've obviously got a few readings to do, and I'm going to start that very shortly. I'm just wanting to know if Sarah's here, because Sarah was the first one to pay. Either that, or I'm going to jump to Margarita very soon. Just let me get this out of the way for the wonderful Alicia. And oh, excuse me. It was like, do you know what? I don't normally drink on here. I'm going to have some water. And that and now that goes down the wrong way, honestly. Spirit, what are you doing? That was not meant to happen. Anyway. Sarah, if you can pop up your question, that'd be great. Margarita, I'll do you after Sarah. Oh my God. Don't do this to me now. Oh. It's it's all a superpower, isn't it, Andrew? Clearing my throat chakra was choking my throat chakra there for a minute. Anyway, let's get back on track. So, Sarah, I know you're here, so if you want to pop up your question, and then I can get into that. Just when I need someone to pat me on the back, I know. And there's nobody here to do that. So I'm hoping Spirit will come past and just go bang, bang, bang. Because normally my dad here, and he's pretty choice. He's and I can actually hear him swearing in the background. So he actually is here, but he's not coming past to thump me, because he'll probably thump me pretty hard. Because that would be him being a smart aleck, of course. Because that's what my dad does. So, Sarah, please, can you pop up your question? Just type it in the comments, because then I can see it. If you're sending that question to me elsewhere, I won't see it. Okay. Here we go. Can you tell me if you see potential with the man I met in October? Thank you, Alicia. Margarita loves laughing at it because I always pick on my dad in spirit world. I so apologise for drinking water, but I have to in this instance. I never do that. Haven't done that in the nearly 4 years I've been doing lives. Never normally have to do it. Okay, Sarah. I really want to come in and focus on you, because here we go. I must say in the beginning, though, I say everything with the absolute respect. If I have to say something that probably comes across a little bit harsh, it's because I'm hearing it from a spirit. If it sounds harsh in my ear, I do try and clean it up the best way I can, because normally my dad is a bit harsh. However, I say everything from my heart as well, and I'm never going to say anything that disrespects anybody, because that's not who I am. But sometimes people, how can I say this? Sometimes people don't hear what they want to hear, and therefore they retaliate and think that I'm the one that's being, a bit of a cow. That's actually not the case. The case is I'm delivering what I hear. And I do everything, I'm raw, I'm real, and I'm authentic. And I do everything. And I'm sure a lot of people know this from if they've been dealing with a lot of psychics over the years. We hear in broken sentences. So I will get visions, I will hear things, and then, I will even get taken to places and shown things like kind of go, oh my God, where am I? But this is what spirit does. And they never speak in full sentences, so you have to put it all together. Okay, so that's the way that spirit works, and I hear a lot, I feel a lot, I see a lot, and I engage with spirit's energy. And Sarah, I want to say to you, my love, with all my respect, I know in the past, and I haven't spoken to you for quite a long time, I know in the past you were going through some really rough stuff, and I'm hoping, because I see spirit has a little bit of a smile for me. So I'm hoping things, and I don't want you to go into any detail of personal things that you don't want to share. But I feel some of that has calmed down. And if it hasn't calmed down in the way that it should have, I feel then that you have taken on a different mindset to understand that maybe you can't change that person and that you're calmer within yourself, because I get this overwhelming sense of calmness. And it's more about you've realized that you are important, and you come first, your kids come first, and if you want to put them in order of 1 and 2, that's up to you. But I say that both those are number one in my world. And I feel with you that's the case, that there's going on there. This man that you've met in October, I kind of want to see that what I'm being shown is you actually saw him a few times before you actually met him. So, and I can say that because I keep seeing that someone is like walking in front of me, and it's almost like you're staring. And again, again, I don't mean that in a rude way, but it's almost like, that person captivated your eyes, and it took you a little while to actually get to meet that person. Hi, Grace. Um, and oh, hi, Stella. Welcome. So I feel, I feel like when you met him, and I don't want to say that your eyes glazed over, but what I'm seeing is that your eyes had like a new sense of sparkle to them. And I don't mean that in a stupid way. I've actually mean that in a sense of energy, and your heart being open, I want to say, has been drained for a little bit. And it was almost like you got a new lease of feeling normal, feeling happy, feeling engaged, and feeling, good within yourself to be able to communicate with this person, when you met him. I want to say that I feel that it's moving slow, and this is probably why I think that you're asking the question, is because maybe I think that you thought it might have engaged a lot more by now. But I actually want to say this man also, I feel, has been hurt in his past, because I can still feel pain, but it's not just associated with you. So I feel the pain is in the other party as well. And by saying that, it's like, two new open hearts are coming together, and that's why I feel good about it. I wish my throat would just get over this crap. I feel nice. And as bland as that part might sound, is if I'm getting this sense of niceness and this sense of a recharged energy, this is because it's radiating between the two of you. So I actually want to say to you, if it's too slow, be patient. Please be patient. Don't don't overthink certain things. If you overthink certain things and challenge, then that person could be a bit put off. I have done that with people that I know really, really well, and I mean really, really well, like 20 years, 30 years, 40 years. And I can do that because of the length of time I've known them, and they know my personality to a T. So they know if I don't feel 100% right with something that they've said or they've done or whatever, they know that I will challenge. But then I have all my other skills up my sleeve to kind of go, something, I smell a rat, so I can challenge. I would not do that to someone new. If someone new came into my life, I wouldn't do that straight away, because people have to get to know you. And if you challenge someone too early in the piece when they don't really know you, what you do is you make them walk. Unbeknownst to you, you literally make them walk. Can you just jump in and tell me if any of this is making sense to you? That'd be great. I don't see this person walking, provided you stick with your patience, provided you stick with just being you. Now, that is a phrase that someone might say, oh, that's cliche, you say that all the time. It's because I believe it. I don't want anyone, including myself, I don't want anyone to pretend to be someone they're not, to say things that they wouldn't normally say to people, to to string someone along, all that sort of stuff. If you just be you all the time, because it's honest and it is real, people are going to engage in that because the energy is fresh, the energy is good, because there's no lies, there's no misdemeanors here. Do you know what I mean? So Sarah, I know maybe you wanted more out of that, because I feel that you wanted me to kind of say, oh, give me a date of when it's going to, flourish even further. But the main message here is patience. The cliche word is kind of, abundance and happiness. And I feel that, but I don't feel that right at this point. If you want any sort of number, and this is probably why the patience word is so important, is because I get thrown as 6, and I don't think that's 6 weeks. I actually think that's 6 months. So it's a bit of a wait, but the wait is worth it. And I have to tell you, the wait is absolutely worth it. It all makes sense, and you've hit the nail on the head. He's been hurt in the past, so it's going to be slow, but I'm okay with it. Sarah, I appreciate you validating that, and I really hope that the patient stays, because this man, I believe, is truly worth it, and it is going to be a bit of a I was going to say something like, the words that came throwing at me from spirit was, it's going to be a slow game, but I didn't like the word game, but that's my dad being a bit of a smart aleck. And I don't even like that word slow burn as such, because this is all about taking your time to really find out so much more about one another. There's so much more that respect that comes with that. People that die, as I said, people that dive in too early, you're going to say something or do something, they're going to go, oh, wow. And I used the word intimidation before, but it's just, it means so much more when you take the time to be patient with people. So I really hope that has helped you. And I really hope that, that you stick to your guns on that. And I appreciate you jumping in and asking something that's a bit, bit personal. So thank you so much for that. Appreciate it. Hi, Lisa. Good to see you. Good to see you. Thank you. Thank you. Healing hugs. I love that. I love healing hugs. Karen, thank you. I'm here coloring my sparkles, listening. If anything comes to you for me, I would love a message. Going, sure, Karen. I think you know my lives. I do all the paid readings first. Sometimes I may not get to anything that I'm drawn to from spirit. Margarita, you're next. Can you send me your question, please? Lenny, you don't need to keep putting up all that stuff. I will. When I come close to you, I will let you know. And then if I haven't seen that, or if I haven't read it correctly, I will then ask you to pop it up again. That would be great. Thanks, Lenny. Appreciate that. Okay, Margarita, is this your question? Oh, thanks, Sarah. That's beautiful. Thank you. Keep shining, my friend. My father's passed away for 3 years, and it's been tough for me and Mum. Ask him, please, he gave up so quickly. Mum asked him, please, he gave up so quickly. Why he had so much to live for. He gave up. Why? Okay. Margarita, I've known your journey from before Dad passed. And to be perfectly honest, when you messaged me the other day on Instagram and said that you were going to come and watch and all that sort of stuff, I actually thought that Dad had only been gone 2 years, so I do apologise. I did think that he'd been gone 2 years, so if it's 3, wow, time flies when you're having fun, so to speak, in my world, not your world. Please don't take that the wrong way. But yeah, 3 years, it's a bit of a magical number. I always say in spirit world that everything happens in 3s, and it certainly does for a lot of people. No, if your mum is upset, and even yourself, if you're upset about thinking that dad gave up early because he had so much to live for, I agree with the second part of it. I agree that dad certainly did have a lot to live for, and he still had a lot to do in this realm. And I feel that he had even started. I'm getting the number 2 on this one. I believe that he had even started 2 particular, whether you want to call them hobbies or whether you want to call them jobs, so be it. But I believe that he started 2 things, and of course they've still gone unfinished. Um, I need to bring this through as politely as I can, because I don't want to upset you, or I don't want to upset your mum either. But it's not a case of he gave up too quickly. He fought what he could. If you I have him. I have to be. I always say I'm honest, but I have him, and I want to say, and if I get emotional through this, I'm sorry, but I have to pass through what I'm getting. And Dad didn't give up. He wanted to stay. He loves your mum so much, and he loves you too. And there's a few others that that his love is there for. He's going to take over my voice. I knew he was going to do this. So we're going to the softer version of Dad after he got quite ill. And what I want to say to you is that he had no choice. Um, there seems to have been an infection in his body that was kind of picked up by the doctors. And look, I have no blame here on the doctors either. He was crook with something. They thought they were getting on top of it. I think you guys thought they were getting on top of it as well. And it was like that something just ran through his body so quickly. And I want to call that like an infection. And it destroyed certain paths of his own healing that he couldn't control. Now, because he couldn't control that, then it was up to the doctors and nurses. But unfortunately, it just happened too quick. Dad is almost putting his hands up in like prayer form and saying, please don't ever think that I gave up, because when he was in this realm, he never gave up on things. If he started something, he'd finish it. If he'd go through a rough patch, he might have got a bit angry, but he would go back and finish it. He never gave up on your mum. He never gave up on you. And he certainly didn't want to put his hand up to give up on life. And I say all this with the utmost respect. Dad is just shaking his head at me, and he's saying there's no way I gave up. He had no choice. And if the infection started in his chest, because now I feel so heavy in my chest, as well as him taking my throat altogether. If something was going on in his chest and that wasn't being controlled, I actually want to say to you that it also moved and was starting to affect the way he could breathe. Laying down flat was certainly not the best for him. And if the heart gave up, it wasn't because the heart wasn't strong enough in the beginning. I want to tell you that it was an infection. Okay. Oh, okay. You've answered something here. What do you mean by yes, he did? Yes, he did what? Enlarged heart. Darling, that would have been the infection getting into the heart and making even the valves overwork. They not overwork. They had to work harder to work properly. And then hence I keep going. He keeps shaking his head at me, saying he never gave up. It was some type of infection, or I actually want to say bacterial, to be honest. And that has to be really jumped on and controlled, and it can take over your entire body very, very quickly. It happens apparently a lot in children, and henceforth, like, children can go downhill very, very quickly. But yeah, okay. Okay. Your dad, I don't know if you have it or mum has it. There's a particular it's not it's not a box, and I don't want to say it's cheap like a container of such, but there's something that he's I don't know whether he was working on it or whether it's just something that has a lot of personal stuff in it from him. And I'm laughing because it's like he's showing me saying, "Oh, go for a little walkabout and try and find the box where I've got some stuff in." I think that you've come across it myself, because I think that you've taken something out of there to keep close to you. Um, if you haven't, and it's now 3 years, it means that he's a cheeky bugger and he's hidden it very well. But I feel that you already have it, or I feel like you've if it's not that, you've already got something from his that you keep very close to you. So please don't ever please give your mum a hug, and I'm sending a hug to you as well. You beautiful people. Please enforce with mum that there's no way on this planet that he gave up. It was almost like it enravaged him too quickly, where he couldn't even, put his hand up and say, "Hey, something else is going on," because it just got worse, very quickly. Okay. So I hope that helps you, and I hope it also gives you more clarity on what actually went on. But yeah, he's not a giver upper. That's not even a word, but he's certainly not a giver upper. He's a man. He's a man of substance. Like he really is a man of substance. But yeah. Anyway. Absolutely. And that's why that's why I stop and I smile and I laugh and whatever, even when I'm delivering something that's so personal, because I can see, I can see that, there's a few of his mates that he's already caught up with. And when they show me things, and sometimes I have to kind of leave it and not say it, but it's almost like he's sitting on high stools around a bar, playing cards. I don't know whether, normal cards was his thing, and I'm getting shown the ace of spades. So it's like he's caught up with some mates and just sitting around a table playing cards, and that shows me that his spirit, his soul, everything is perfectly fine, and he's perfectly happy. I mean, he's got no choice, but please know that he does watch over you, and I'm sure you can feel him in certain points. I really do believe that you can feel him. And if you question yourself wondering if it is him or not, please understand that it is, because he's a trooper. He really is a trooper. Anyway, okay. I'm just I'm just trying to work out who was next. Benjamin Starr, I don't think you've ever watched one of my lives. God, look at you. You interviewed me back in 2016 at Festival of Dreams at Moore Park. So how good's your memory, my love? You sent a spy into the reading room, and they chose me, or you chose me, whichever. It was one of your radio interns. And I think you're hoping somewhere along the line that I would fail. And thank you. Oh, but what? And I blitzed it for memory. God, psychics say they never remember. For memory, his name's just, I can see him. His name's gone out of my head. But he was struggling. He was struggling of acceptance with his dad. And when I brought that through from what he needed to tell his family and his dad, he cried for memory. Thank you. Look at you. He was, and he was, but he was so gorgeous. He took everything with a grain of salt, and it was I want to say a beautiful awakening for him. And there you go. There's a lot of psychics that say they don't remember what they said, and I did that in 2016, and it's now 2024. So how's that for a goddamn memory, Benjamin? Oh, I wonder if you remember, because I've actually on my website, I've actually got the interview that you did with him, and then I came into it later. I've actually got that on the bottom of, I think, my gallery page on my website. Anyway, getting off track now. Now, Sonia, I think you are next. And look, I'm sorry if I get this mixed up, the mixing up in the order of who's paid, because I'm trying to look across two pay areas as such. I'm trying to see what's in PayPal. Then a few of you went to my bank account. So anyway, I'm mindful of that. So Sonia, no, actually, I beg your pardon. I'm sorry, Sonia. Andrew was next. Andrew, if you can send me your question, that would be amazing. Would be amazing. I should have done my old school like I normally do with pen and paper, and I didn't do that tonight. Benjamin, I'm so glad you're here. I'm honoured because Benjamin is a radio host. He does a lot of media and stuff. So yeah, good to see you and thank you. I feel blessed. Andrew, my love, your question, please. I thought you might remember because he was one of your apprentices. Was his name Jack? It just came into my head. There was Jack and there was two. Your other apprentice went to another psychic and got everything wrong to my memory. Anyway, let's not name that psychic because I can't remember who went to. But you had two apprentices that you sent in. I think I got Jack. Now, how's that going to be for a memory? My goodness. Yes, Alicia, you do send the question in the comments, but just if you could just wait until I kind of catch up with everybody, that would be fantastic. So Sonia, I will do you in a sec because I need to do Andrew first if he wants to come in with his question. Otherwise, I don't want to be standing here waiting too long. Or standing, I'm not sitting, for God's sake. We should do another interview. That would be absolutely awesome. I'd love that. Maybe we can do like a where people can call in for and have their questions answered or something. Maybe we can kick that off. Maybe we can set that up because I know you're not in Sydney anymore either. Anyway, I'm sure we can talk, Ben. I so love you popping in. Okay, Andrew, I've been seeing a load of repeating numbers or angel numbers, and when I Google them, they all say similar things. You're on the right path. I was just curious if you had any vibes on what that path is exactly. Okay, Andrew, just going to take that off screen for a second because it covers all my face. We can't have all that hidden all the time. Okay, Andrew, look. When we see angel numbers or repetitive numbers, regardless of whether they're angel or not, generally there is a message there for us to look at and to work out, certain things that it might be relevant in your life, or as I've had happen to myself over God for many years, sometimes it's relevant in someone else's life. Now, if they're all saying you're on the right path, then that's a little weird because I would think there would be a little bit of deviation to some of them. And some of them might have long meanings that you're not reading the whole thing. I'm not accusing you of anything, that's for sure. I'm sure you've looked them all up. I know a few definitely have, ways of saying that we are on the right path. However, I find with you, and it's actually my dad in my ear, and my grandmother's just jumped in as well. My grandmother has the nurturing heart. My dad is a bit choice. So I actually want to say to you, with all due respect, that you second guess yourself a lot, and whether that's because there's a bit of self doubt there, or uh, a bit of not complete self love, there is things that I want to say that you've heard from other people, or other people have told you what you should be doing, and it's absolutely got nothing to do with where you want to be or what you want to do. But because people that you kind of hold in high regard, I want to say that, I feel that when you think that way, that you actually have to listen to these people and choose a path that you're not really comfortable with yourself. And I probably want to, excuse me when I say I probably want to shake you, but in a nice way, to kind of go, everybody has an opinion, but it's what you do with that opinion that matters. And even if you hold these people in high regard, it's still your life. It is still your path to go on, and it's still your choice. Some things I believe you want to do, but you're kind of held back, I think, at times financially, and you think you can't do it. If you focus on it enough, or I don't always like Dr. Google, but if you research it enough, sometimes you find a way to get to the path that you need to get to, even if you have to go around a little circle. I want to say to you, the more you listen to people who claim they have your best interest at heart, or if it's maybe even a bunch of other psychics or something, or something that you've heard or listened to or whatnot, that people are telling you that you're on the right path, I believe you're actually not. I'm going to say you're not. I'm going to say you have not actually followed your own gut. You've listened to too many where I'm seeing, like, what I'm being shown from spirit is like a whole lot of confusion in the mind. And I think with you, when there's confusion, it's almost like you pluck something and go, do you know what? I'll just do this. Because if I do this, I'm going to advance myself anyway. And that's great. If you want to advance yourself, that's fantastic, because, man, I've done 30 years of study, and some things I use and some things I don't use. However, it's if you're just plucking it and not giving it the value that it deserves, then I feel like that you're not picking the right thing to do. But I want to come back to you. I want you to feel secure in who you are, and secure in the decisions that you want to make. So I would say sometimes just shut out that background noise, or the voices that are pushing you to do something that you're not 100% comfortable with. I want you to kind of go, do you know what? I wouldn't care if you admitted that you don't know what you want to do. Because even if you're in that zone, you're admitting the truth, and you can sit with a notebook and pen for as long as you wish, and just, it's not quite a meditation, but you can just ask yourself, what am I really passionate about? What is it that fires my soul? What is it that I wish to embrace? And I swear to you 100% that all these things will just come into your mind, and then I just want you to write. Because then after you've written, you will see some of the things that you're truly passionate about, and it will then show you the path that you need to follow. Do you know what I mean? Okay. 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 I hear you, Andrew, and I totally understand where you're coming from, and thank you for validating that for me. Um, I get passionate when I hear things so clearly that sometimes I, sound like I'm a broken record or such. But it's because I hear it so passionately, I have to deliver it how I hear it, and I have to deliver it with the emotion. And it's something that I find I don't want to run anyone else down who's given you advice. Let me say that. However, I think there has been in the past, and I don't care whether you're scared to stand up to them. I don't know whether you just don't like confrontation. I don't know what it is, or even the lack of confidence. If you need some help in that regard and need to be kind of shown how to be a bit stronger or a bit more assertive, certainly with no aggression. There's people think assertiveness and aggression are the same thing, and it's absolutely not. Then the other side of my business is counseling. Let's have a couple of sessions there, and let me help you. Let me help you take that step higher in believing in yourself and believing that you are worthy to follow that path, and maybe even brainstorming some ways that you can come about to do what you want to do. I know that you'd be a very good listener and a great helper, but in what capacity, you have to work out what you're passionate about. So I will ask you if you would please try that bit where you just sit with yourself, no music, no phone on, no TV, no absolutely nothing, but just sit quietly, not necessarily going into a full meditative state, but just sitting there saying, what am I really passionate about? And writing down whatever comes to mind, okay? Because that is what will take you to a different level to work out how we manage this path. I really hope that has helped you. And let me know if you want to do anything further. I'm happy to engage in that. And if you're financially struck, maybe we can I can do discounts and that sort of stuff. But yeah, let me know, because the first part is up to you, my love, to see where the passion really is, and to get along to putting you in a better spot. So I hope that helps. Please let me know. Appreciate you jumping in tonight. Thank you. Sometimes I miss. I'm kind of. I'm not overwhelming myself. I'm just so glad to be back doing. I've done some private things, just haven't done lives. For a little while. While of course going through this. Okay. Sonia, I think I saw flip past me that you just wanted a general. Did you want a subject matter on the general, or just an overall general? And the other lady that you paid for, if she wanted to start writing down her question, that would be also, I forget that lady's name, actually, to be quite honest. How bad is that? See, I needed my little pen. Jacqueline Boyce is the other lady that you paid for. So if you can just clarify with the general that you want. Basic generals are pretty... I think there's a lot of us psychics that really don't like the generals and stuff in a proper, like, reading when they're an hour and a half long and stuff like that, because we can dish out some cards as well as all that sort of stuff. Yeah, that's basic generals are pretty good for that, but for live feeds they're kind of not, because myself, I don't have any subject that's barred. I know some people do, I don't. When people want to find out something, they normally have a subject matter in mind. So if that is the case, please let me know, and then I can do a general just around that subject matter, because in all the years I've been doing this, there's normally something in the back of your head where you kind of go, geez, I really wish I could know about blah. Or later on you go, oh, that didn't come up in the general, so I really wish I had have asked that question. So please just quickly consider that. Otherwise I will have a bit of a squiz with the cards. Then it would be like, card based and not necessarily spirit based. Okay. You feel like you're going in circles. Okay, Sonia, do you know what? That's because you are. Simple answer, problem solved. No, I say that with respect, but I say that with a bit of humour, and I couldn't resist myself there. I'm very sorry. Okay. The circle pattern that you're, I want to say, really engrossed in right now is not your fault. It's almost like, um, and spirit shows me in such a weird way that you're sitting in the middle of this circle and people are dancing around you. But I have to say, the people that are dancing around you aren't doing you any favors. Not that you expect favors for anybody, but I just see this circle of people, and it's almost like every one of them wants to throw a spear. And oh, that's kind of awful. The spears aren't, I have to say, in the vision, the spears aren't hitting you. Thank God. But the spears are being thrown in your direction. So it seems to me like there's a circle of people that have too much to say, too much input. Geez, even a little bit like Andrew's, but I didn't see a circle of spears. Too many people have too much to say that have actually have no right to say it, but they don't care. They will say it because they like the sound of their own voice. Oh, that was a bit harsh. But that's what I heard. I'm going to tell you that in this circle, there's probably about 10. I'm trying to count them all very quickly. But I want to say 4 I find really, really judgmental and awful. I find 4 really awful. And if you know who these people are, in your head, if there's more than 4, then I apologize. The 4 number is thrown at me, and it's very, very significant. So because I was talking, I put it together in this. But I feel like almost like tonight or tomorrow, you instantly remove yourself from those 4. Their energy, their energy sucks you dry. Hmm. Oh my God, I keep going to my throat. It's almost like they want to cut you off. Like it's either you, not that you use evidence or information against anybody, but the feeling that I get from spirit, it's almost like these 4 people think that you either have something on them, or or you've seen something that they've done, or they've said something that you've already challenged them on. I feel like it's an instant cutoff. You're going to have to do it. These people will grind you to an absolute halt. You won't be able to. You'll find yourself so knotted that you won't be able to express. You will start to feel intimidated. I guess the word is I use. You will start to feel like your voice can't be heard. It's people will that people will mock you for who you are, or for having a voice as such. And oh my God. I just feel that I want to jump in and grab your hand and drag you out of there. I don't like you sitting in this circle as such. I feel I also feel like you've trusted these people in the past, and they've just walked on you. They've just trampled you, and you're trying to. I know you're a good person. I've not met you in person. I see certain things on Facebook. I don't study Facebook a lot. I think you have, in some way. I think you've helped these people in the past, and not that you help people to get something in return, because you're not like that. I don't get that energy from you at all. But I feel like I just keep feeling like they want to trample you. They want to cut you off from speaking, from engaging, to doing something. They It's kind of like that narcissistic trait that wants to trample somebody, I guess. Because that's what narcissistic people do. They just want to trample people and destroy people, and then it's hard to come back from that. But you're in the driver's seat here. You need to make that decision. You need to kind of sit and go, do you know what? I know exactly who these people are, and I don't need them in my life. They don't pay my bills. That's one thing I really want you to remember, and I want everybody to remember. Nobody else pays your bill except for you, unless you have a sugar daddy or, or sugar mummy or whoever that wants to pay them for you. But we're all not that blessed, are we? We've all got to pay our own bills. But I just think the quicker you do this, it will be like this explosion of freedom in your mind. It will be like that you can sleep properly for the first time in weeks. It will be like that you have a smile on your face, and that's not to be cocky. That's more about, it's you feeling that overwhelming sense of freedom. It's you feeling, it's almost like an orgasmic feeling, pardon the pun, so to speak, but it's almost like you feeling that none of these people can hurt you any further. You will get that, you will get that over sense, like, over, what am I trying to say, like that overwhelming feeling, where the where your brain kicks into, it's time to stop this. It's time to just stop and just get up and walk out of that circle, because it's time for you. You can't focus on being the best version of you until you get that shit out of your life. Oh, excuse my friends. I'm not supposed to swear, but do you know what I mean? It will take its toll even further. And nobody deserves to get the energy sucked out of them for any reason, whether it's family, whether it's friends, whether it's colleagues, whether it's whoever. We're all on a journey through life, and we're all trying to do the best that we can. And it's there's no failures in life. It's all a bit of a learning curve. But I just think with you, that circle and that crap of people throwing crap at you, it's not going to happen until you just stand up and you go, do you know what? I don't deserve this, and I don't need to be part of this. And picture what I saw of like this circle of people, not like a corroboree or anything like that. It's like just a circle, and in the center is not a fire as such. It's you sitting on the ground and a circle of people rotating you. But the spear things that I saw, like, being thrown at you, is virtually the verbal crap that comes out of their mouth, you know, and they're enforcing that on you. And it's, you need to get up and, pardon the pun of shake it off. I mean, I know that's a bit of a, oh God, I just wish I'd stop hearing about that on the TV, and I would have used that terminology anyway, but you need to stand up and do that and picture yourself walking out of that circle, but almost like pushing people, not pushing, but, moving people apart so you can walk through them. And you walk through them with your head held so high. It's not an ego trip. It's not aggressive. It's not anything. It's about you coming back into you and owning who you are. And goddamn, take your power back. You deserve it. So I hope that helps you. And thank you for trusting in me to want to do that for you. And your other friend, Jackie, sorry, Boyce, if she wanted to put her question up, I believe she asked for a general as well way back. But if she can just again give me a subject heading, just so I don't go on a little bit. Okay. Thank you, Margaret. I appreciate your kind words. That's lovely of you. I think after Jacqueline is actually, Lenny, I think it's you after Jacqueline. Jackie, can you just give me a subject heading? I feel with you, and please correct me if I'm wrong. I feel with you that It's about relationships, to be quite honest. If you want me to go that angle, let me know. I think I have a feeling, I was just looking at your tiny, tiny little picture against your name, and I got relationships, but I also got work question mark. So which one would you like me to focus on? Okay. I like it. You just say yes, please. And I've said two things. Oh, I love it. I think that's cool. Okay. Dean, I'm not sure if all the comments come up on YouTube. Oh, they should. Actually, they should. I'm not sure why that wasn't happening. Okay. It should be happening. Otherwise, after this, I'll have to go in and check what's going on with YouTube. Maybe because I haven't been on it for a while. Maybe maybe it's not working properly. I apologize. But I can see that you're now on Facebook, so maybe stay on here for a bit if you want to. It's up to you. Okay. Jack. I don't know why I've also been asked to call you Jack. Because that's abbreviation of your name, but anyway, that was the first thing that came through. It was like, just call it Jack, and whether it's because I was pronouncing it wrong, or it's because from a young age, and that seemed to be the go. I'm not sure. It seems like as kiddies there was a lot of people in the street that said that. So again, please correct me if I'm wrong. What do I feel with you? I'll be brutally honest. The first thing I don't know why I keep saying that. Like, seriously, the first thing that comes into me from my nan, actually, God love her. She's caring, and she's quite mindful of everybody's emotions and stuff. I want to say to you that, and if you don't want me to, if I start and you don't want me to say it here, please jump in and say change the subject, because that's okay too. Some things are sometimes too personal to say, but I feel with you that it's almost like it's almost like for a while in your life that you haven't felt a lot of good love that's coming to you, and I say that with respect. As I said, it was a bit of a tough subject. I feel like at times that you put so much energy and love out there for others to receive. And again, I will use my comment of, none of us do things to actually get that back in return, because that's not our expectation. But I feel with you, you have a really open, like a really big open heart, and when you keep putting it out there, you're not getting anything in return, and I think that's hurt your heart. And I want to say, it's not that the heart is broken, but the heart's got a chunk taken out of it, and I feel like that you just want to stop doing that now. I feel like there's a point in you that you've said, you know what, I've tried and I've tried, and I'm sick of trying. I actually want to say to you that, with all due respect, you're kind of giving that to all the wrong people. I think when you were younger, you found yourself in a crowd, whether that was at school or I don't know if you went to university, but like a TAFE thing or something or other. I feel like you are one of those really high-powered people pleasers, and sometimes when something's not right, you go along with it anyway because you don't want to be shoved out the door, so to speak. And I think I think a number of years of that then equates to me then going down the path of, you now, or in the past and in recent past, you don't feel like you're worthy enough to get that love. And that's sad, but it's also very concerning because, as I said, my nan shows me that you have a heart of gold, that your heart is ginormous, so to speak, and you give it freely, like you really give it freely. But I keep hearing that you're giving it to the wrong people. Now, is it time for you to step back and kind of go, do you know what? I'm only going to give it out to people who I've witnessed their behavior, or I've got to know a whole lot better before I give my heart. You will still have that generosity about you. You'll still have that automatic give. But I want you to really seriously consider the amount of love that you actually give everybody. Am I supposed to, in my industry, am I supposed to love everybody? Yes, I am, but there's loving in a degree of, oh, I love, thank you, I love you, and thank you, but I'm not in love with you as such. Do you know what I mean? So there is a big difference between, oh yeah, I love you, or come here and give us a hug, I love you, to I'm really in love with you. Do you know what I mean? And you give your heart so much. But when you feel that you actually find the person that you want to reciprocate for you or with you, that person is already looking elsewhere because it's almost like you're in a catch-22. Everybody loves you because you give and you give, and then if you stop giving, people condemn you for that because they go, what's up with her? And all of a sudden it's your fault. That doesn't sit well with me, because nothing that you do is your fault. You're just a loving, kind person, and I really wish we had more of these people in our lives. But when you become a people pleaser on top of it, you can overgive, and nobody's going to respect that because they just think, oh, here she is again. And I say that with the greatest respect because I don't want you to get hurt any further. I feel like you've given a lot of people a lot of chances. I feel like you have really given your time with people to kind of go, do you know what? What am I doing wrong? What the hell is wrong with me? And I feel this negative path now has come down on you. And I want to say, like, I'm being shown a beautiful burnt orange color. I don't know if that has a significance with a loved one. It's if I was to say it was the afterglow of a sunset, then I'll use it in that form. It's that really raw, burnt, like burnt orange color. Okay. I feel that color is associated with somebody else. I don't know whether that's mum, grandma, great grandma. It's a feminine energy, and it's a burnt orange that also comes with a kookaburra. Kookaburra and burnt orange doesn't really go together because they're normally around at sunrise when it's going to rain. But not that the two are associated together. However, that person is showing me a burnt orange. It's bright, it's bold, but I'm also seeing a kookaburra, so I'm not sure what the kookaburra connection is as such. And I'm also seeing a gold. I'm sure it's a gold on a gold chain heart. So I just want to know if any of those three different things are significant for you in any shape or form. I'll just wait till you answer that. Margaret, you're right. She does need to give that love to herself. And yes, she's a beautiful soul. So, okay. Can you let me know which one of those three, or if all three are significant to you? Because I feel like it's a definitely a female energy. But they're three kind of bizarre things that I would never normally put together as such, and they don't have to be together. But that person is just, and I want to say really, oh, I love spirit. Seriously, I love spirit. And I don't even think I've even read for you ever before, but this is just gold for me. It melts my heart when spirit comes through with certain things that are only relevant to the person. If I was to say to you, find something, I believe you have, but find something in that burnt orange color. I would say generally you probably don't wear a color like that. Find something that you're comfortable with. Okay, you just answered. Burnt orange is angered towards both of them. Okay. Okay. Kerry, that message wasn't for you. It's for Jack. I actually want to see you embrace that color. If I was to stand at your wardrobe and open it, and I dare say the door opens to the right, okay, even though you see me doing that to the left, but it opens to the right. If I stood there and looked at your clothes hanging, there's room for brightness to go in there, and a lot of brightness, okay? And maybe you don't want to be bright, but I'm being directed to virtually say that burnt orange is now going to become your base color for just a little bit. Just try it and see how it makes you feel when you're in it. And I want, okay, I actually want to say the day that you wear it, you're going to hear the kookaburra. So that relevance is not really together, but that's what I just heard, and I'm laughing because I just think that's funny. And God love you if that actually happens. I just think that would be hysterical. But the heart, I actually want to say, is more about this female energy who has some personality. She has some grunt with her, but she's also softly spoken. So she has some grunt, but she's softly spoken as well. And if I can say to you that the heart is either a gift that was given to you before that person passed, or something that you found or was presented to you after their passing that had some significance there, because to me it means a hell of a lot. But also too, I want you to also, the next time you wear it, and if you're not wearing it, please get it out and wear it, because I know it's a treasure. However, you need to wear these. You don't need to put these things away and lock them up in boxes for safekeeping, because they're there to be worn. But I want you to take note on how much the heart sparkles when you wear it. So a couple of things that I'm asking you to probably do. I probably sound like a lecturer now, but I just hear it so strongly. I hear it so strongly that you need to feel the difference in putting on such a bright color. Burnt orange, not everybody can wear. I mean, I can wear it. I wouldn't wear it a lot, but I wear a lot of like silk caftans, which have got a lot of bling on them, and bright orange is generally mixed in some of them. And I could get away with that. I think once I had a bright orange t-shirt. But yeah, it's a color that you might need to wear with something else, but I would please love to see you in it. I just think that's gold, so to speak, pardon the pun. But yeah, and I think that all the love that you've been putting into others, you bring it back to yourself. But when you do that, again, you spark the endorphins off in your own mind, and waking up and feeling a bit better about yourself, throwing on some color, embracing the world to kind of go, do you know what? I'm here, and I'm now going to take on a new journey. That's what I probably want you to do. That's probably the biggest message that's, is in all of this, for you to get back. I just don't feel like you're enjoying a lot of things right now. And if there's been some sadness or some heaviness or some challenging stuff, I would kind of ask you to flip it. It's hard, but flip it and understand your worth, know your worth. Tread carefully with your heart. Don't give it to everybody. Give it to those who certainly you've engaged with and you know that absolutely deserve it, but just be a bit more gentler with your heart. and yeah, good things will come to you. It's almost like you're going to, in the next few months, if you're going to do that, it seems like a new lease of life for you, and I wish you well on that. And if you want to connect with me and let me know about that later, or let Sonia know and Sonia can come through to me, whichever way you feel more comfortable with, please do. Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you. Lenny, I think I've got Lenny. I've got you're very welcome, my love. You're very welcome. Lenny, I've got you. Tony, I've got you. Who else have I got? Lenny, Tony. Kerry, I've got you as well. Just for a few people who've jumped on a bit late, there's no free readings on my lives, as is scrolling on the bottom. If you want to donate $15 into my PayPal account, you'll get a guaranteed reading. Sometimes at the end, if I haven't gone, too long, what am I looking at now? Nearly an hour and a half. I might choose someone to read for that hasn't paid. But yeah, it's $15 for a guaranteed reading. And I think I've got, as I said, I think I've got Lenny, Tony, Tony, Andrew, I've done. Okay, Lenny, because a lot of things have gone scrolling by, can you now put up your question? That would be awesome. Sorry, lovely. And then Tony, if you can also try and get your question ready as well, that would be wonderful. If I've missed anybody that's paid, to my knowledge, I've got Lenny and Tony to do. If I've missed anybody, can you please let me know? Oh, you started off with a compliment. Good on you, Lenny. I haven't seen you for a long time, so thank you. Okay, long story short, I'm dealing with ongoing right toe infection, having to apply for job search pension, also dealing with some legal matters and releasing the defenses that I've built up over the years. I know you said, okay, all right. There's a bit to unpack in there. I'm going to I just want to see what the most important thing is right now. Oh, Alicia Goldsworthy, yes, sorry. Alicia, you'll be, if you can also get your, oh no, Alicia, if you can, I've got Lenny now, I've got Tony, and then I've got you, my love, sorry. I think I've got Kerry. I think Kerry paid. Okay. Sorry, Lenny, I'm just focusing on what the most important thing is. Okay, I'm being drawn to legal. Actually, I want to say to you, your legal matters, although quite personal, and you know me, I say things with the greatest respect. However, I want to say that I think some of the comments that are coming back to you in regards to these legal dealings, you've taken, you're overthinking them. And when you're overthinking them, then that puts your mind in a bit of a tiz and you're reacting instead of sitting back going, I'll answer that tomorrow. I know it's quite personal what you're dealing with. And I know it's tough. I feel a sense of like excuse my French, but I have to say it the way I hear it, like a shitload of weight on my shoulders. It's kind of like, geez, Lenny, I didn't really want that. I've got enough to carry around on my shoulders. I don't need that extra weight, but I feel like a lot of it is impeding on your, again, with respect, I feel like a lot of it is impeding on you, and your ability, I should say, and your ability to function in a bit of a normal way. And what I mean by that is that whatever this legal matter is, it's like, really heavy on your shoulders. It's almost like it will take away some of your livelihood if it's not done correctly, or if it's not responded to in the most correct way. And as I said, like, I think some things you've taken personal where you've reacted, and when you react quickly, a lot of stuff comes out here, and sometimes you shouldn't say certain things, right? Be mindful of that, because like all of us at some point have got what I call foot and mouth disease, where sometimes I don't think before I speak either, but because I'm so authentic, when I say things that's generally true, the other person just gets pissed off with it, or excuse me, ticked off with it. But at the end of the day, I'm still always mindful of that. But I think with you, sometimes your wording is worded a way that comes out wrong. And I think with you that some people get offended, even though that you're saying things to out of the kindness of your heart, but some people take you the wrong way. And I think that has to be looked at. I know it's kind of a bit of a offshoot from what I was talking about legally, but that came through as something that's really important. And you kind of got to mind what you're saying to who you're saying it to, because sometimes other mouths run off with the wrong information. So that's just come through loud and clear. So that, to me, says that sometimes that you're talking to someone who is agreeing with you, but walks away and says something totally different that discredits you or your name. So just be really wary of that. It's happened to me a few times, and that really ticks me off. Where I just get, like I just distance myself, because I'm too old to tolerate crap like that. And I kind of go, do you know what? If you want to float your own boat by throwing me on the bus with something I didn't do, then I don't need to be in your life, and you don't need to be in mine. And that's kind of, I think, where you sit with a few people. Because of this industry, you believe that everybody is there for the right reason. I'm here to tell you with respect, they're not. I'm getting the zipper. Mind this to certain people, but you're going to have to learn who you can trust and who you can't. There's a lot on your radar that you're trusting, and they don't deserve your trust, so be very mindful of that. Getting back to the thing with the legal matters, it's like it will take away some of your journey. It will inhibit you from doing probably a few things that you want to do or you have to do to survive. And therefore, that's whatever you have to put back legally, make sure it's written clear and concisely. If you need help with that, then seek the help to write it in a manner that is going to be heard the right way. I realize that's a bit of a tough. Legal matters are always tough, but some are tougher than others. But when I feel that it's going to take away some of some important things from you, you need to make sure that everything that you're submitting is 1,000% correct, and 1,000% can be backed up somewhere along the line. Okay, because I just think that you're dealing with legal, and hearsay and what ifs and should have, could have, maybe, they're not going to cut it in the legal world. It's got to be clear and concise. Okay. You've just popped in with something else, and that's a whole different ball game. That is something that I don't want to highlight on the screen as such. I think it's quite personal. If you choose to get that examined, that's totally up to you. I'm not hearing that has any connection to what I've been saying. I feel that it's outside another box, so to speak. I don't feel that it's connected to anything that I'm saying right now. Can you just clarify any of that for me? I may have missed that. My screen just keeps scrolling too quick tonight. Can you clarify that if any of that makes sense to you, Lenny, please? Hi, Karen. How is it in New York? Lovely to see you too. Thank you for popping in. Alison, I don't do any free readings on my lives. It's a $15 donation into my PayPal account, which is scrolling across the screen on the bottom, for a guaranteed reading. I may get to some people towards the end, but I've already gone an hour and a half now, so I may not. I've still got a couple to do. Lenny, can you just let me know if any of that makes sense? If you wouldn't mind, or if it's helped answer any questions for you. Oh, I just bumped my screen. That would be lovely. While I wait for Lenny to say that, also something else I just heard Lenny too in the next month. Be mindful. Be mindful. Again, we're going back to the mouth. Be mindful of who you're saying things to, and be mindful if you're saying something about someone else that it's 1,000% truthful and not just something that you've heard. It's got to be, if you're going to talk it, and I say this to a lot of people, and because I just heard it now from Spirit World, and it's directed at Lenny because I don't have any other questions of this. I'll wait for Tony's question. But at the end of the day, when people hear things about other people and they haven't heard it themselves, but they tell that to a third party, or by then it's a fourth party, it becomes distorted like Chinese whispers. If someone tells you something specific and you pass that exact information on as you've heard it from the person, then so be it if you choose to do that. But if you hear something from someone else and you have no idea if it's true or not, or you haven't engaged with the person that they're talking about, so you actually don't know the person or whatnot, do not spread it on to others. Do not repeat it further down the line, because it's probably someone who is jealous or intimidated or whatever about the person that they have to talk something about it. But by you taking it along and telling someone else, it's Chinese whispers. It creates bullshit like beyond capacity, and it proves that you're not thinking seriously enough about yourself or giving yourself enough credit to just go, oh, okay. And if you want to know about that person, find that person and engage with them and work it out for yourself, because most of the time this crap is untrue. So just be mindful of what you hear and what you pass on. That's all I want to say there. Okay. I was mainly concerned about my ability to drive to fairs and events. Okay, so this legal matter has got to do with you driving. As I said, whatever you're producing back in legal documentation, make sure it's 1,000% correct and true and honest, and make sure it is what was I going to say? Make sure that you have, whatever you're saying, that you have evidence to back up what you're saying. Okay. And after that, I think that you'll be fine, but don't engage in hearsay around it. Like if you have to go to court for this, then don't engage with the others going, oh, but I meant to say this or I meant to say that, because hearsay after the fact is they don't take it on board, and they think that everything you've said is a lie. So everything you need to say, write it down, clear, concise, have evidence to back it up, and I think you'll be fine. Okay. Okay, socially, Lenny, I'm spending too much time here, but socially, just mind your mouth. Okay, and I say that with respect. I'm not having a go at you at all. Just mind your mouth and who you're giving information to. I just think there's too many that you think that are your friends and they're not, and vice versa. You trusting everybody up front without finding out certain things is done you a couple of injustice in the past, and I think it will continue to give you a lot more headaches than what you care to have. Okay. Okay. Perfect. Thanks, Lenny. Appreciate you. Appreciate you coming in. I appreciate you staying this long to get your reading. It's lovely to see you. Because I haven't seen anyone for such a long time, so it's great to see you. Okay, Tony, Papu, on YouTube. I haven't seen you for a long time. You can because you're writing it on YouTube, and I can see it here. So, but I don't do any free readings. So the scroll underneath my face gives you the details of donating $15 into my PayPal if you'd like a guaranteed reading. Tony, back to you. I'm having a hard time at the moment. My dad died not so long ago. Oh God, I'm sorry to hear that. Oh God, he's a good man. Whew. It's almost like I just got a slap in the back of the head then. I'm trying to help my mum as she's just lost where everything's settled down. Tony, look, I'm not going to say it's going to settle down soon because these things take time. And I think your mother has lost, I know he's your dad and you've lost greatly as well, but your mum has lost someone that she's been around for a very long time. And I don't know where the military comes into it, but I've felt that slap in my head when I was reading your question. It was almost like I had to stand to attention. And it was like I had to say, what is he saying? It's like I have to say the world, oh God, this is a bit harsh. The world doesn't stop because he's gone. I feel then that Dad was quite regimentated in certain things. I want to say that your mum is now leading what I would call then an unstructured way of living. And I think she's so used to, and why I said military is because I feel that things are a bit regimentated with Dad around, in the sense of breakfast was at the same time, morning tea was at the same time, lunch was at the same time. I don't know whether they got afternoon tea as well, but anyway, I'm just going to go down the line. And then dinner, like I felt like they had something to do, like I'm hearing the number two, like so 2 afternoons or 2 nights a week, there was something that they both enjoyed doing. And it was the same time every week, whether that was even just a walk or something. It feels to me that it was such a pattern of things to do. And mum doesn't have that pattern anymore, so mum is quite distraught, and it's like she's kind of lost that sense of purpose to do everything to those time restrictions. And I also want to say that it's like your dad, almost like a train conductor, so to speak, where if it's not military, it's like timing is precision. Timing is, if he's going to do something at 9 o'clock, he's goddamn there at 9 o'clock and he's doing it. He's shaking his head at me saying, so particular in time, and he's got that from his own childhood. So yeah, okay, apparently his childhood wasn't that great. I don't really get into that, but he had to do things to that way when he was younger and growing up. So I actually want to say to you that because of that, and because mum was so used to that, and he's been around mum a long time, then mum feels just totally lost. Even without all of that, mum would be lost anyway, because just the length of time they've been together. And the connection they had, I actually want to say sometimes some things were said in a short way, like in a short manner. And what I mean by that is, how like some people, they have, when they answer something, they have really short answers all the time, and sometimes you feel like you're getting cut off. My answers are never short unless I've really got the shits with someone, and then I'm extremely short. But I elaborate on everything because I feel that everybody, if they have all the information, they can do more with it. So instead of like starting on little bits, it's like when I say that these readings here are all snapshots and they're, quick and whatever, they're certainly not as quick as a lot of psychics, but then I hear so much, I want to give it. Do you know what I mean? So, and I feel that is my role to deliver that. So, and I just think with your mum and even yourself, like I even want to say to you that part of this regimentation thing, or part of this doing something structured. It's kind of, you can see how it's fallen off the bandwagon. Please jump in and let me know if this is resonating with you, because it's like I have Dad in the background standing to attention, which is that slap in the back of my head earlier, and virtually saying that, you need to deliver. That's why I thought it was a bit harsh, because the first thing I heard was, you need to deliver that life goes on without me. And that's not meaning, and it's certainly not saying that he's a cold person, because I don't believe he is, even though some things he says are harsh in that manner. But he's someone who delivers quickly. Like when they've got something to say, they deliver quickly. Sometimes I actually wish I was like that in some ways, but I'm not. Mum has some healing to do. I don't know if you can help her with that. She needs to understand that there was nothing more that can be done for his journey in this realm. And I'm just wondering if that slap in the back of the head, because I keep feeling it and he keeps doing it. I'm just wondering if that slap also has something to do with a part of him that was unwell, so a part of his brain that was unwell. And because this regimentation, if the brain was injured in some way, shape or form, he wouldn't have been able to perform that regimentation before he passed either. So that would have gone out the window, so to speak. So, I just keep getting pain in the lower part of my skull. Okay. That explains the military precision I saw in the beginning, but the hit in the back of the head, not painful, to get my attention, to get me to stand to attention as well. I also feel like there's something around the brain. I actually want to say to you too that if that slowed right down, then towards the end of passing, maybe he couldn't be so structured in delivering in conversations to your mum or to yourself. I don't know if mum's left-handed. I'm being directed to the left arm. I don't know if she sat on the left side of him. Actually, I do know. I keep saying I don't know, but I do. Like I see sitting on the left-hand side. Did he lose that? Did he lose that? You don't have to answer this. I was going to say, did he lose that sense of being able to string all those sentences together? Because I feel like he was a really good talker, but then towards the end he wasn't able to deliver certain things as good as what he could do in the beginning. Even and when he first started getting sick, like I feel that he could still talk properly and whatnot. But again, I keep getting the base of my skull is annoying the hell, bejeebers out of me. I shouldn't say hell. So if that's not related to him, Tony, then I would say then to you that either you're getting headaches there or mum's getting headaches there because she's not actually sleeping. Okay. Okay. It was funny when I said I don't know if she said on the left side, I could see it. So that's why I corrected myself and I said, well, I shouldn't say I don't know because I do know, because I could see it and I could feel it. I could also feel her warmth that was radiating in through to his arm, which at times, if he couldn't sleep or because I got my eyes closed, if he couldn't speak or if he was actually asleep or resting, that you saw a movement in his face where he was having a smile. Okay. Please understand. I know you do because I know you believe in spirit world, but please understand that he walks beside your mum. I need to say this, but I don't want it to sound awful. You need to play a role here in getting mum out of a chair. She seems to be sitting in a chair too much and not doing things so regimentated. And I think if she continues to do that, her health is going to start to decline. I'm not saying anything bad, but I see that that's going to start declining if you don't get her up and move. She's overthinking a lot of things, and I think that she believes that, again, with respect, I think she believes that she should have gone instead of him. That's just normally a grief mind talking, because sometimes we don't like to be left behind. So sometimes we choose that we say that we wanted to go first, so we don't have that pain with us through grief. So I really feel for your mum, and if you can in some way get her up and about, or if someone that lives next door or near her, or whatever the case may be, and try and instill some sort of not overexerting regimentation, but just little things to get her mind activated in a different way, because I think now she's just mulling over stuff all the time and wondering if there was anything else that she could have done, and there isn't. I want to direct you to a clock in on a it's on a wall. It's at the end of the kitchen or leading into a hallway. That clock stops quite often. It's him playing silly buggers. Again, I come back to that time thing that he had. It's him playing silly buggers. She seems to be changing the batteries far too often. It's because she thinks that the batteries are like worn out already. She's changing them all too often, because the minute it stops, she thinks that the batteries are. Tell her to stop throwing the batteries out. They're all fine. she she just needs to acknowledge that that's him playing a bit of silly buggers. Okay. With respect, I feel for you, and condolences to yourself and all your family. But please know that he's okay, and he's not suffering at all. And but he wants to see her smile. He understands that it's hard. He really understands that it's hard for her. But yeah. See, you thought I didn't know that. I love spirit. I get told things that mean absolutely nothing to me. Batteries. Someone throwing out a bucket load of batteries. Like how? How would I know this? Like, it's just. I have a friend that I've known for a very long time. I have no idea if he's watching or not. He believes in me, but he doesn't quite understand spirit world, or doesn't quite understand how it works. And I keep saying to him, if you ever watch my lives, if you ever watch me on TV, how on earth would I know all this stuff? Like, seriously. And he just shakes his head. I scared him once, because I gave him a name of somebody that I thought he was having interactions with, and apparently that blew his socks off at the end of the day. But, that's the only experience that he's had with spirit world and myself. But, he doesn't engage in conversation with it. Because there's part of him, I guess, that doesn't believe in it. So you guys tonight, all your validations on every single reading I've done, so far is awesome, and I appreciate that so much. And people who are skeptical, they just have to stop and read or listen to certain people's to get a feel of whether they're real or they're not. It's an industry that can be so tough when there's so much skepticism out there. But I do seriously appreciate your validations. It's just because I respect spirit world so much. It's my passion. It's my world. I've been speaking to spirit since I was 3, and I'm 63 now. So I've been doing it a very long time and connecting with spirit. So I know full well, how to put 2 and 2 together and what spirit says. So it's a long time I've been doing this, and I've been bullied many, many years throughout my life of people back in the day that thought I was a white witch, and even a family member who wanted to, or nearly got their way by tying me up and setting me on fire. But, because I was such a witch. But, yeah, whatever. Each to their own. So I really hope that I'm getting tongue-tied now. I really hope, Tony, that has helped. And I really hope that, when you deliver any messages to your mum, to pass that on, let her know that I'm thinking of her and sending her my love as well. And I hope that, she can find some healing and some love in it for her. Okay. Alicia Goldsworthy, if you can message me your question, that would be awesome. No problem at all, my love. Happy to oblige whenever you wish. I've had a great night tonight, like 2 hours. I really want to applaud you all for, what will I say, tolerating me for so long, no, putting up with me, and some of you have come back and welcomed me with open arms, and that's always awesome to read. I don't live my life with any ego at all. I've never had an ego, but I'm extremely passionate about what I do, and it's always nice to hear from you guys. Okay, Alicia, can I have a reading about my can I have a can I have a reading about my mum that has passed, please? Oh, Alicia, I'm so sorry. That's tough. Another tough one. Thanks, Karen. Oh, Karen. I certainly feel your heaviness, and I say that with respect. I actually want to also say to you that I feel that you've lost your voice somewhere along the line. I don't know whether that's I feel that some people you haven't wanted to talk to since Mum passed. There's a hesitancy there. It's almost like you go to talk to people and you pull back. There's something that's quite personal that's going on. Apart from your mum passing, there's actually something quite personal else that's going on with you. It's probably more so why I felt the heaviness, although I do believe the heaviness is associated with your mum passing, but I think there's something else going on there as well that's really, how would I say, it's really bogged you down, where you feel that you can't even discuss mum's passing because it will bring up other things for you, or it will hit a sore point with you, given what else that you're going through. I think the last few months you've gone through a few hard knocks. It's not only mum passing, it's something else as well. I feel that it's playing really heavy on your heart. I see the number 3, so I actually want to say to you, this is kind of like a 3-way, like I feel with you, it's like a 3-way connection or disconnection somewhere, and I do feel that it's with family members. So okay, I feel that somebody is not behaving in the manner that they should. Again, so respectfully, that someone is not behaving the way they should towards you after your mother has passed. So I feel that there's a conflict there somewhere. It's brought up some old wounds for you, along with you also dealing with your mum's passing. I held my chest because I feel like mum's, I feel really heavy, really, I feel like a crushing feeling in my chest. Oh God, so not so much like emphysema as such, but I feel like there's a lung collapse there because I feel like the breathing wasn't 100%. So I kind of feel like I'm struggling to get air to the surface, so to speak. So that's what they're showing me there. I also want to highlight with you, like on a whether I call it a brighter note or not, the color, like a vivid purple. It's not that dull, muted purpley color. It's like a vivid, where it's kind of like hot pink turns into purple, so to speak. I mean, that's probably a bit wild, but yeah, I feel that color is prominent somewhere around. It's either yourself or mum. I keep feeling like I want to take really deep breaths because I feel this like pain in the center of my yeah. It's almost like my esophagus wants to close over and I don't want it to. Sometimes spirit doesn't understand. They don't have to actually show me these or get me to feel these sensations, but sometimes they do it for a reason. Can you just verify what I'm feeling here, Alicia? I feel like it's important. I feel like she was trying to get something out. She was trying to either say something before her passing or started to say something, and nobody knows the finished version of that, because I like, as I said, like I feel like my esophagus is closing up. So something has gone unsaid. Alicia, if you can let me know, that'd be great. And while I wait for Alicia, I believe, Dean, I will get to you. I think you'll be my last, so to speak. I'm just waiting for Alicia. I hope I haven't upset you, Alicia. Oh, okay. That's why I'm feeling it. Awful. Awful. It's an awful feeling, and it's just so, as I said, it just wants to close off my entire esophagus. I still get the sensation, though, that even with that feeling, and that would have definitely closed off her airways, that something is left unsaid. Oh, okay. I also have to bring in really personal. I'm hoping that I'm wrong, actually. I'm hoping that I'm wrong, that you didn't find her, or you didn't. Oh, I just had an awful feeling then. Can you understand what I feel with that? Oh, that's hard, Alicia. That's really hard. Whew. If you weren't with her, you're probably the first to be taken in, as I say, to say your goodbyes, or the first person that was allowed to hold her hand to say goodbye. But I still get this strong wording of something has gone unsaid, whether that's from her to you or from you to her. Okay. I'm so sorry, Alicia. I had to ask the question because I felt that you. I'm very sorry for your loss. It's never an easy subject, and my heart goes out to you. But I'm going to flip to my knowledge on counselling just for a moment. I just want to put Mum to the side, so to speak, for a second. I'm kind of feeling her pain, so I kind of need to absorb that for a minute. But I also want to say to you that when somebody feels, I'm going to take that other thing on. When somebody feels that life is so hard and they feel like there's no other way out, and they feel that nobody is going to help them, nobody is going to get them through life, nobody cares enough, nobody, does this, does that. And the mind is a very powerful thing, and it comes from our subconscious. What people don't understand is that your subconscious is awake 24/7, and your subconscious generally holds all the negative thoughts. And because your conscious mind goes to sleep, your subconscious is awake all the time, 24/7. So any negativity that's in your mind festers in your subconscious 24/7. So when the conscious mind is asleep, the subconscious embeds that into your conscious mind, and therefore you start to believe what those negative thoughts are. There are a lot of what ifs, or if I should have done this better, if I was loved better, if someone took care of me, I'd be better, oh, I'm unworthy, all these sorts of things. And I had to say I don't like to say them out loud, but anyone that is suffering, and please, anyone that's still on this feed tonight, if anyone is suffering any mental health problems, whether it's anxiety, whether it's stress, whether it's, really bad, please seek out some help, because as I'm clearly saying, your subconscious is awake 24/7, and your subconscious will feed negativity into your conscious mind, and you will believe it like you have known it all your life, so to speak. And this is the problem, where people think that they're unworthy of love and things like that, because they keep telling themselves that. So eventually, the conscious mind believes it, because the subconscious is awake 24/7. So I just had to say that so you could understand. Nobody understands when people take their life, because they can't work out why. There was no signs, there was none of this, and they don't know why. Sometimes they just convince themselves with their subconscious that nobody's going to help them, or nobody's been through that disaster like they have, or nobody has suffered like. There's all sorts of things that you can say, and I just don't want to give too many people too many scenarios as such, because it's a really tough area. Alicia, I know you don't blame yourself, but please don't take on any type of blame if there's family matters where someone is throwing some crap at you. If somebody is, please ignore them, because that's just their anger, hurt, and pain, and whatever, deflecting, so they don't have to tolerate, or they don't have to think things through. They can deflect, and they can just pass it on to you. Stop listening to that sort of crap, okay? As I said, the colour purple has come through again. It's a really vivid purple. I'm not sure what the relevance is there, so please let me know if that's either Mum's favourite colour or your own. Purple in our world, in the psychic industry, is the crown chakra, and I am talking about the subconscious and the conscious mind. However, I teach people how to open their crown chakra so they can communicate or listen to their intuition more often, or dig deeper into their intuition, or even psychics. They open their crown chakra to connect with spirit world. So it's not necessarily connected to the negativity that was in her brain, but the vivid purple keeps coming through when I'm talking about your mum. So let me know if that's one of your colours or hers. And I also want to say to you, not sure where you live, but somewhere outside your kitchen window or on your kitchen windowsill, there's just like a small rose bush. It's either outside in the garden, very close to where I would say your kitchen window is, or you've got it potted in a like a little pot plant somewhere inside the house. Roses have to be outside. But yeah, I keep seeing little white flowers. I'm not sure if I said rose, but I'm not sure if it actually is a rose. Okay. It was your favourite colour at the time. Thank you for that. Wonder why it's not your favourite colour now. So maybe it's aqua now instead of purple. Maybe it's gone to aqua. Funny how I just blurt these things out. The white flower seems very significant in the sense of it is innocence, but it's also in the world where you're giving, say, a rose at a funeral or to somebody, it is eternal peace. So if I'm being shown that, either you've got the plant from her passing, or you yourself have chosen to put a white flower on her in honor of her, as in eternal peace. So it's either one way or the other. But I feel like it's in your hand. I feel like it's with you. So I feel like it's either a rose bush that you have, but they keep showing me the kitchen, and then I feel that your hand is passing over just even one of them. So I don't know. Yeah. So, again, if you can put all that together, that'd be great. Or if it is significant somewhere, please let me know. But I want you to understand, and I don't mean to sound like I'm lecturing at all, because I feel you're hurt. I feel like you feel that, like, this sense of abandonment as such. It actually had nothing to do with you. Younger, I believe, younger in your mother's life, I feel that her childhood and upbringing was not so flash. And I think that she went through a couple of traumas. I don't say this lightly, but I feel like she went through a couple of traumas that she was misunderstood with, and therefore that played heavily on her. And I feel that she didn't get the right help way back then when it was needed, and therefore it festered. Not your fault. Don't start what-ifing. Not your fault. Mum carried a couple of burdens, and it weighed very heavily. It's sad that she didn't. It's sad that she didn't really unload the whole lot of that. It just may have helped her somewhere along the line. Alicia, that it's sad. It's powerful. It's maybe not what you wanted to hear, but I also have to let you know that she's free. She actually doesn't think of all the pain that she carried in her mind. She doesn't feel that in spirit world. She actually feels and acts like a free spirit, and that's no disrespect to you. She had a lot. She had a lot in her mind that she couldn't unpack, and that's sad. But when her soul was released, it's like it all disappeared, and that weight off her shoulders was gone. She's sorry in many ways, but that was a big but. There's nothing that you could have done to prepare yourself or to help her in any way, shape, or form. She had to seek out really good help in what she was going through, and unfortunately, I feel that she got some bum steers along the way, and maybe also too that sometimes she didn't delve as deep in her conversations as she should have with some help, and therefore they were only going off what they were hearing and what they were feeling from her. So I say with the utmost sincerity and respect that I am very, very sorry for your loss. If you need to ever unload or to dump or to find further clarity on certain things, please get in touch and we can talk privately. It's a tough subject to talk on live, so I apologize, but I always tell people that spirit brings through exactly what you need to hear right now. When people have like 10 questions and so forth, sometimes spirit will only throw me answers to one, because they know what's the most important thing for you to know right now. And I just feel that you needed to release some of that heaviness from yourself and understand that was mum's heaviness, and mum carried that. She doesn't want you to carry it, and she wants you to be as free as what she feels now. Does that make sense? There's always an idiot. I'm gonna block that person straight away. Always an idiot. Anyway, and that was idiotic for that person to say that in such a really delicate time. But I've got rid of that. That's just crap. Alicia, can you just pop on and let me know that you're okay and that you understand what I've been saying? Because I'd appreciate that, and I'm sure some of the viewers that are still here would just like to know that you're okay. And yeah. It's such a toughie. But I'm with you, and I feel the emptiness, but I also feel that there's that you feel that there's a bit of guilt and whatever there. So please let me know that you are okay with what I've said, my love. Okay, thank you so much. I really needed that. So much of that made sense. I would love to get in touch and talk sometime. Yeah, look, please do, Alicia. Like anytime. The other side of my business, like I've actually got three main sectors to my mystique world, and that's obviously my psychic mediumship. I'm also a qualified psychotherapist and holistic counsellor, which includes grief counselling, and then and also like empowerment coaching, and I'm also like a sexologist and an intimacy coach, like just as a side thing as well. But I've studied that quite intensely, and there's a lot around that helps couples, but it helps individuals as well, but also helps domestic violence victims and rape victims. So there's a lot. People laugh at the heading of sexologist, but there's actually a lot behind there that's really raw and tough to work with, and a lot of people can't put their hand up for that. But it's what I do. Apart from that, like I have a mystique school of wisdom, where I run seminars and stuff like that, or coaching as such, or allowing people to try and tune into their intuition and so forth more. But yeah, there's a lot that I do. So Alicia, if any of those areas apart from like mum also help you, it would be great to kind of I want to finish off in like a positive thing for you, and kind of like saying, do you know what, mum passing is sad, but I don't want that part of you to be weighed down so you don't shine, so to speak, if that makes sense. So yeah, so I'm here to help, my love. Dean Ryan, you're going to be the last one of the night. I've gone 2 hours and 20 minutes already. Dean, can you let me know what your question is, please? That would be great. And yeah, Alicia, all my love, sweet, and thank you for allowing me to discuss that. Really, in all honesty, like on an open platform, that can be very hard for yourself, not necessarily for me, but I appreciate that you were so personal with that, and that I felt with mum that was the case, and sometimes that subject and miscarriages, things like that, is a very delicate subject. So thank you from the bottom of my heart for sharing something so personal on this live. I appreciate that. Look at you, like we're saying, we're mimicking one another and saying the exact same thing. God love you. I think you're a little bit of an angel there. I don't mean that disrespectfully. Okay, Dean, you've come in. Dean, the first thing I heard, I do take your question respectfully, but the first thing I heard, and I just want to add, I just want to shift the energy for a second. So I'm not having a go at you. I just need to shift the energy. The first thing I kind of, heard was, some people are exes for a reason, and you have to kind of work out why it's an ex that you want back in your life rather than a new person altogether. But in saying that, I feel that there's still love there, but I feel like it's been a massive misunderstanding between the both of you. And with all due respect, I have to say to you that neither of you are right. You're batting heads over circumstantial stuff that, I think a lot of circumstantial things blew up to things bigger and better. And I think the toing and froing of certain conversations got way out of hand and kind of lost the point of the conversation, if that makes sense. Can you just jump in and let me know that, please? Because I feel like there's look, some males don't even want to, speak to a psychic and whatever. Some males think it's a whole lot of BS along the way. So I appreciate, that you're asking the question, and that you're, here this length of time listening. But I have to say that I don't think either one of you were at fault. As I said, I keep hearing in my ear, like, because I have a lot of spirit guides that jump in and say things. And I keep hearing all this toing and froing. And it's kind of like, respectfully, it's kind of like when one says one thing, the other one tried to like capitalize it with something else, and you kind of got off point here. It really got off point. And I feel that your exes, as meaning that you're an ex-couple, so to speak, is all because it got so out of hand and away from the real guts and the real belly of the problem that things were said that probably shouldn't have been said. Things were said that were hurtful, things that you actually now can't take back, because, I teach people the spoken word is the spoken word. If I feel like I'm being attacked, verbally by someone, and they go, "Oh no, but I was only joking," well, that's kind of bullshit, because you said it. Do you know what I mean? And some people try and get away with saying certain things because they can use that as an excuse. And I'll give you an example. When someone's been drinking, "Oh, I only said that when I was drunk. Oh, I only slept with that person when I was drunk. Didn't know what I was doing. Didn't know what I was saying." All this sort of crap. The words or the thought has to be in your mind somewhere. The alcohol, if it's alcohol related as such, the alcohol just relaxes you enough to be game enough to say it. And if you cheated and use, "Oh, but I was drunk, I didn't know what I was doing," again, that's absolute crap, because the thought process has to be there in the first place for your mind. Oh, here we go. Who is this rubbish? Tarot Destroyer. What a name. Sorry. Just let me get rid of this. Oh my God. What on earth? Get out. What a hacker. Get out. Oh my God. Anyway. Someone jumps in with like 5 crappy things straight off and calls themselves Tarot Destroyer. Yeah, that's a great hacker. Anyway, sorry, Dean. So what I'm saying to you is that if you guys can, bury the hatchet is a cliche as such, but if you guys, and I'd probably like you, like, she's still here? I thought I just blocked her. Ban. I just banned her and she came back with a vengeance. How does she, how can you ban someone and they come back? That's rough. Anyway, I don't know how to get rid of that person now. If you can be the instigator, and probably not a dinner as such first up, but if you can be the instigator and maybe ask her out for lunch, and in a public place where she doesn't feel that, she has to come to your place, or she doesn't want you at your place because she, whatever. And like, I'm not asking you to do, oh God, I'm not asking you, sorry. This person has got to go. My goodness. Um, I'm not asking you to spend hundreds of dollars on this. I'm asking you to kind of do like a lunch in the park, a lunch in a cafe, but make it so it's in public, but it's nice. It's not over the top, and it's just about when you talk to her, or if she's banned you, find a way to leave a note in a letterbox or something, and sort of say to her, you understand that the conversation's got out of hand. Oh, use the power of Satan. I mean, this is wow. Wow, wow, wow. Sorry, guys, this person has just gone droppo on my page. And I keep banning the person. And they keep coming in with this Satan stuff. Oh, and there's one in every crowd. A nice lunch, a general in the if as I said, if you're barred from like talking to her as such on social media or phone numbers or whatnot, I'm not sure that you are, but I have a feeling there's a bit of a blockage there. If you can write a letter and virtually say, you understand that conversations got heated, and apologize for things that have been said out of context, but you would just like to take her to lunch, discuss some of the things that you should have discussed in the first instance, let her know that the subject hands got way out of hand, like you word it any way you want to word it. I'm only just trying to guide you here, and you've realized a few things, and you would just like the time to have a conversation. You just like half an hour, like whatever time she has for you to engage with one another and talk things through. And no one gets to, and especially yourself, nobody raises their voice doing this, because if she starts to say things and you feel you're not being heard and you need to raise your voice, then give yourself a bit of a kick in the shins and go, no, I'm determined not to raise my voice today, because if you raise your voice again, I believe it's never going to come back as one. Because some people, it's a matter of, do that to me once, do that to me a couple of times, then I'm out for the count, so to speak. So just be very wary of that. Some people kind of answer with sarcasm, and sarcasm can come back where your voice is a different tone. And some people will class that as yelling when it's actually not. It's just a sarcastic manner of talking. And some people get really ticked off with that. So just be mindful of how you talk, and be mindful of the context of how much you disclose to her about that you shouldn't have said this, that you're aware of this, and you got out of hand, and you're so all that sort of stuff. And by doing that, that allows you to have a better conversation with her, because I want you to try that, because I feel that if especially if she allows you to do it and really wants to engage with you to hear what you have to say, then there's hope there, because I keep seeing spirit smiling at me. So I know when spirit is smiling that there's hope there, and there's hope for being reconnected. It's not going to happen overnight. It might take a few of these outdoor lunches and so forth before she even might be comfortable with dinner. So I have to warn you, it's going to be, even though that your partners in the past, it's still going to take a bit of time and energy to get this back on track. But I know that, because I feel it, I believe that you already know that, and I feel that you're actually willing to put in the time. Oh my God. Oh, now I've got other people. But I feel like that you're up for that challenge, so to speak. because I feel that you want to bring this back to one. I know you miss her. I know, you think of her often. You're wondering what she's doing, not in a jealous way or anything, but you're kind of so used to feeling her energy, feeling her upbeat, positivity in life, that you're missing that. So therefore that your energy now is being drained. Does that make sense? Okay. How do you think that can I ask you how you think you'd go with all that? Like, is the door open, so to speak, for you to contact her and run this by her to, do a few like lunches and things like that? I just feel I'm being shown actually that's the avenue that you need to take. So kind of wondering from you, how do you feel about that? Okay, perfect. Oh, look, I think it's great that you reached out, and I think it's a question that you probably needed some total outside information from, because I think that parts of you, I think you're doing your own head in, and I think at times, to be quite honest, even though I believe that you still love her, I believe at times that you're even trying to talk yourself out of it because you just thought it was all too hard. That's virtually, you getting inside your own head, and that's what I was talking about before, about how the subconscious is awake all the time. When you get inside your head and even doubt what your first thoughts are, that's when you really start to doubt yourself. Your gut instincts and your first lot of feelings on things is normally the right way to go. Even when they sound a bit bizarre, it's generally the right way to go, because gut feelings or intuition, whatever people want to call it, is, and I can say this with hand on heart, it's perfectly honest, it's 99.9% correct every single time. So that's kind of what you need to work off, instead of mulling it in your head, because your head will go a different angle. And as I said, the subconscious is all about negativity, which I can't stand, but that's what the subconscious is built in our brain to make you really, oh, this person's back again, to make you really think outside the square. So, that's where you have to run with that. So I hope all that helps. And I really appreciate you jumping in and asking the question. Just let me know how you go, or even if you want to let me know another time how it goes, or how you're progressing with it and whatever, that would be great. Okay, now I think I've got everybody, and I've hope I've got everybody done. If I've missed you, please reach out. I am going to call it, because I've got this massive hacker on my page who is just carrying on about Satan and all the rest of it. And every time I ban them, they're coming straight back. So they've got around the system somehow. Calling themselves Tarot Destroyer is ridiculous. But anyway, we'll see what partakes from that. I'll try and find out what country they're from and ban the whole goddamn country, which happens sometimes. I want to thank every single one of you. Even if some of you have jumped off, I do want to thank every single one of you for jumping online tonight. I haven't been around for a while, because I've done an 8-month cancer battle myself, but I'm, feeling good. And, tonight, not that I needed proof, but tonight also proved that I certainly haven't lost my touch. Didn't think I had, because I've been doing some phone readings and whatever in between the whole journey. I just was too sick at times to come on and do a live. I'm sure you all would know what that would be like. So I appreciate you all jumping in. I appreciate everybody who donated. I appreciate all the questions. Some of them were very emotional, and I thank you all for allowing me the platform to respond to you. I thank you all for your validations. All your validations are absolutely beautiful. If you actually wanted to leave a review on my page, either on my Mystique psychic medium page, or my Mystique, mystical Mystique Live TV page, please feel free. You don't have to, but of course any small business doesn't thrive unless the good people like yourselves that have had a good experience. I don't want anyone to lie. Everyone that's had a good experience, if they wanted to share that, that would be fantastic. If you wanted to do that anonymously, you can always inbox me and I can put it up as anonymous. But yeah, anything that, if anyone wanted to do that, I'd appreciate that very much. Businesses don't move forward unless they've got positive and great reviews. So I thank you. I thank you all for validating everything I've said tonight. It's absolutely marvelous. And all going well, and I'm sure it will. As I said, I won't find anything out for another couple of weeks yet, but I will be back every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. It seems to be a time and a day that suits everybody. And I've had visitors tonight from New York, and I saw someone from Sweden earlier on that were just popping in to have a watch, and that's fine. But yeah, so again, from my heart to yours, I appreciate you all. Thank you so much for joining, and I hope you all have a great week, and I hope I've helped you on your way. And for those that didn't, get a question answered and so forth, then I hope you'll, pop in at another time and we see what we can do. All right, I'll leave you all with that. Have a great week, and I'll see you next week. Bye for now.